Good afternoon, everyone. Let's give a couple of minutes for other people to join. So, how is your day going so far?
Fantastic.
Thanks, Mike. Hey, Vijay Anthony, you can allow other people when they log in to join. We we should stick to the time.
Yes, ma'am.
We have almost like 60 or 65 reservations, so we'll see. Mike, you want to start with the introductions?
Sure. Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our webinar. And I want to thank you very much for sharing your lunch hour with us. This webinar is proudly hosted by Pigeon-Tech, and my name is Michael Halbert, and I'm quite honored to serve as your moderator today. As we gather here, we're standing actually on the threshold of a very historic milestone, the 250th anniversary of American independence in 2026. America 250 is more than a commemoration. It's really an opportunity to reflect on our shared past, celebrate our present, and envision a future shaped by innovation, unity, and engagement. This digital revolution has transformed every aspect of our lives, and from the way we connect and how we preserve and share our stories. America 250 digital platforms are not really tools, they're powerful bridges that can unite communities and amplify underrepresented voices and inspire a whole new generation to participate in the American story. So today's session is going to explore how digital tools can be really effectively leveraged to keep communities engaged throughout the year as we celebrate America's 250th birthday. And in many cases, it'll commemorate milestones like Celebrate 250 to start off strong. And as time goes by, it's difficult to keep the audience fully engaged. Enthusiasm and excitement for the event begin to wane, which is reflected in lower attendance numbers. Today's very special session is going to focus on how mobile apps can actually bridge the communication gap to transform America 250 celebration into a year-long, highly interactive and engaging storytelling experience. During our session today, you will going to be exposed to practical strategies, real-world use cases, and data-driven engagement ideas to keep your audience engaged, connected, and excited about the events and programs that will be happening the entire year as we celebrate America's 250th birthday. Today, we're going to explore why digital engagement is essential for reaching today's audiences during the American 250 celebration. We're going to look at how interactive storytelling can enhance historic experiences for guests of all ages. And we're going to talk about some strategies for amplifying diverse voices and engaging broader communities. We're going to expose data-driven insights collected during the journey and how you can leverage these insights to drive guest engagement. During this presentation day, we encourage you to participate actively, ask questions, share your own experiences, and connect with fellow attendees. This is a space for learning, inspiration, and collaboration. Now, before we begin, a few quick little notes here. This session is recorded and will be shared with everyone. Please use the Q&A feature to submit your questions at any time, and we'll address as many as possible during the discussion. Let's use this moment to imagine what's really possible with technology and community come together. Thank you for joining us, and let's begin the program. So it's my special pleasure to introduce our expert speaker for today, Kate McCleese. Kate is a program manager for Marion County Foundation. Kate oversees the foundation's grants and scholarship programs. And prior to joining Marion Community Foundation, Kate had over a decade of experience doing nonprofit or advocacy work centered primarily around workers and families' rights, first in Toledo and Lima, then through Ohio and nationally. Very community and family minded, Kate has a sense that a career transition to her hometown was only a matter of time, and the program manager position for the Marion Community Foundation became the perfect spot. Kate thrives in a position where she can connect dots between problems and solutions that lead to real community impact and foster relationships with instrumental leaders and organizations along the way. Made Marion through and through, she is excited to see what the future holds for our community. Kate is a Marion native, having graduated from River Valley High School and holds a bachelor's degree from Miami University. She resides in Waldo with her husband, Michael, and two children, Jake and Whitney. And we wanted to share a fun fact for you today that Kate's grandma is in the Guinness Book of World Records. She is one of 6 sisters from Missouri who now hold the world's record for the highest combined age of 6 living siblings. And that is 572 years and 130 days. And the ages of these 6 sisters range from 88 to 101. And Kate's grandma was the oldest and passed away last year, 1 month before turning 102. The other 5 sisters are still going strong. So we would like to turn this over to Kate and let her take it from here. So Kate, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for the warm introduction. As we navigate this important milestone for our country, our goal in Marion, Ohio, isn't just to host a series of parties. It's really to celebrate all of Marion's contributions to the American story. And we've decided to do this and approach this as a year-long community-wide celebration, with our main goal of getting more Marion people engaged in more Marion things. I think if we can get the slide to pop up here too. Can everybody see that, or is it not up yet?
Oh, I think Anurag was going to put the slide up for you.
Okay.
Mhm.
All
There we
right,
go.
here. All right. So you can go to slide 2, the next slide. So we know that every major milestone really faces a predictable obstacle, what I'm going to call the engagement fade. We often pour all of our resources into a single day, like a parade or a community festival, and then we see that energy pretty much vanish after 24 hours. Traditional event planning relies on those isolated spikes. That can be exhausting and an expensive way to build community pride and engagement. Next slide, please. So the traditional arc of a story follows that same traditional event style. You go up and then you go back down. It's a complete journey. It's satisfying, but then it's over. Next slide.
Mm-hmm.
When we take a page out of a playbook like Dallas or Lost or Grey's Anatomy, it's that cliffhanger that keeps people coming back for more. So our current experiment is to try out this model, one with endless peaks. Our app isn't just an event schedule, but an engagement command center. It bridges the gaps between our big moments using a monthly rhythm of activity to ensure that Marion's pulse stays strong all year long. Our hope is that it transforms a one-time visit into a regular connection. Our new episode drops or content drops, or in Marion's case, a new trail drop, is our approach to this method. And we've incorporated gamification to cater to a natural human motivator, rewards. This is a continuous adventure, and Pigeon-Tech's technology really has endless possibilities for this style of engagement. Next slide, please. Engagement can die behind login screens. I mean, I don't know how many times I've had to reset my password just to order pizza. But this no login architecture of Pigeon-Tech's app, this ensures that whether you're a teenager, a tourist, a grandparent, you can participate in under a minute. Easy access is how we plan to turn a visitor into that person saying, hey, did you see this app? We've also made the determination to house this app with our local convention and visitors bureau so that everyone can be included. And I'd be remiss if I didn't introduce my partner in action, Bev Ford, who runs our convention and visitors bureau and is always looking for unique ways to engage with our community members and visitors. So let's take a look and see what this actually looks like on the ground. So notice the flow here. The user isn't prompted for an email or a password. They open the app, find their trail spot, answer a quick trivia question, and they're checked in for a raffle. The raffle is optional, and once they enter their contact information the first time, the app remembers that to make the next trail spot even easier. There are different ways you can engage with the app too. You can go to the month's trail and read about the stops before you plan your trip, or you can use the map feature to see what's close by. This isn't meant to be something that you do in one day, or even that you have to do all the things in each month. It's meant to give people a fun way to learn about our past and our present and find something new to do in their hometown. It's also the home for our big events. As you could see in the video, our Red, White, and You weekend events were highlighted. We'll be able to add things like parking details and food ticket costs and more as everything comes together. We can send a push notification to let people know that this has been added. We have a page to share who we are and to thank our sponsors. And if you are a person who likes more information, we have a featured stories section that lets you dive a bit deeper into the month's theme. Plus, we have the Popcorn City Puzzler. Did you know Marion is the popcorn capital of the world? Very proud of that. And you can do this quiz anytime, anywhere. There are ways that you could turn this into a more competitive feature, But for now, we're really just using it as another engagement tool. Next slide, please. So how do we begin building this desire to return to the app, this cliffhanger? Starts really with an intake funnel. Our anchor event that's been funded by a one-time special grant program of the Marion Community Foundation, they're our primary onboarding engines. We leverage the massive energy of those crowds to pull residents into a year-long cycle of exploration. We want to move that attendee up the engagement ladder. Next slide. And then once folks are in, the momentum flywheel takes over. The app captures the energy of those big pushes and spins it into regular activity. Monthly trail drops keep the wheel turning between events, while regular rewards and grand prizes turn passive curiosity into active participation. Next slide. So this slide demonstrates the why. The dashed gray line is the traditional model, the one we looked at the beginning. Energy spikes at our different events, and then it crashes back down to zero the next day. Now look at the solid blue line. This is our 365-day connection. Even in those quiet months, our community baseline never returns to zero. We are building a staircase of engagement that leads towards true ownership. This timeline shows our heartbeat. We have those big anchor events, which you can clearly see in the gray dotted line, but notice the blue line for those months in between. By releasing new trails and tales every 30 days, combined with the renewed opportunity to win a prize, we're turning the anniversary from a one-day celebration into a year-long, I gotta see what's new feeling. Next slide. Now, Marion's a small town. We have a countywide population of just 60,000 people, and we have a small budget to put towards really building this momentum. And my partner, Bev, and I have full-time jobs that were already jam-packed before we took on this initiative. I'm sure that sounds familiar. I say this really because I want you to know that this is doable. And with the right resources, the possibilities are truly endless. You could build a leaderboard with new quizzes. You could capture stories and pictures from people at events or at trail stops. You could work with businesses on special discounts if people pull up the app at their shop or restaurant. You could build out a version just for kids under 10 or adults only. There's so many more ideas that you could do. We're just 1.5 months into this experiment, and the numbers are telling the story. Our first 2 events in January were a ribbon cutting ceremony and a Martin Luther King Jr. Day breakfast. The ribbon cutting was just an America 250 event, and we pushed the app download. We saw a 16% conversion rate of the people who were there, who downloaded the app and completed the trail stop right then. The MLK breakfast is an annual event, and we were invited to speak about America 250. We still saw a 10% conversion rate from that appeal to downloading the app and completing the stop. Next slide. And finally, let's talk about the win-win. This 365-day connection is about getting more people in Marion doing more Marion things. We want them in our restaurants, in our downtown shops, and in our museums. By building on this feeling of what's new, and did you hear about that, we're strengthening our local economy and our social fabric. A connected community is a vibrant community, and that is a legacy worth building together. I want to thank the Pigeon-Tech team for working with us to put this idea into action, and I am more than happy to answer any questions anyone may have. Somebody's got to have a question.
Kate, while we're waiting on a question, what you presented was amazing. The change that you brought forward with Pigeon-Tech is pretty impressive. So props and accolades to you and your team for that.
It's been a fun, and like I said, it's an experiment. We're only a month and a half in, but really excited to see where it can take us this year.
Yeah, and I loved your engagement mountains. That was so fascinating. How you did that. Pretty amazing.
Let's see. I think I see a question.
Do we have a question?
Okay. Yep, I see one. So the question is, the idea of a monthly episode drop is great, but it sounds like a lot of work for a small team. It is. So the question is, how do you manage the research and content creation without it becoming a full-time job? That's a great question. It is really hard, and it's very time consuming. But what we've been trying to do in Marion is build out an actual committee of folks that are doing the work. So we have a storytelling committee that's made up of some of our local historians and just enthusiasts. And we've moved to a model of a working meeting model, so that when people come together, we're just doing the research together and writing the simple things that we need to write, and getting it done right there in a meeting, rather than talking about it and giving assignments and doing the work outside of the meeting. So that's been our new approach to try and keep content new and fresh, and not get so bogged down.
Kate, are you pushing messaging out to all the people that downloaded the app as well? Is that how you're helping keep the engagement?
So with our trails, we have, because it's throughout our county, we actually have yard signs up at all of the different trail spots. So people can see, I mean, and so many people have said, oh, I see those signs now all over. And they can see that sign. If they have the app, they know, oh, I need to pull up my app and get this trail spot complete. Or if they happen to be at that place and they're like, what is this sign? We have QR codes on the yard sign so that people can just get their phone out, scan the QR code, and it takes them right to the app store to download.
Oh, that's interesting. So someone who didn't download at the beginning of the trailhead could download it anytime based on the QR code. So you're
Yeah.
constantly encouraging the download.
Mm-hmm. And we have, like I said, we're a small town, so we have like table tents up at all of our, at a lot of our local establishments that people frequent, who would be people who would like to do this sort of thing. So again, we're using that QR code. I think that's one good thing that came from the pandemic. Everybody knows how to scan a QR code now, and takes you right to the app store, makes it really easy to just click download and you're in.
That is wonderful. That was a really great and very, very insightful presentation. I did not know had the ability to track that so closely, and it was really impressive. You kept that curve going. It was really, really nice. The engagement curve. I think of it as engagement curve, and it was just constantly going up, which was really impressive.
Yeah, that's the goal. I see another question. What strategies work best to engage Gen Z during the community festivals? Yes.
There's one question before that question.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
I see that. So since you aren't forcing a login, what kind of data are you actually able to see on the back end to know if your staircase of engagement is actually working? So we can see the number of app downloads from both the Google Play and the Apple Store. We can see the conversion rate of those who've like scanned the QR code and gotten to that app download page, and then how many people are actually downloading the app. We can see the pages on the app and the trail stops that are most frequented, how many times they've been there. We can see the average engagement time per active user, And you can really look at each page breakdown to see the total number of views and the amount of active users for each page. So it's really been, again, we're just a month in with data. So it's been interesting to see what we can see so far, and a good baseline for us to hopefully just keep going up.
And then I something to Kate, I want to
sure.
add something to that. They also can see whether the people of Marion County are using it or if they're coming out of Marion County to visit it. That's a stat that can also be seen in the app.
Yes, and so our goal is really right now to get people in Marion doing Marion things. So that's one of the things we're looking at. But with partnering with the Convention and Visitors Bureau, it's going to be really interesting to see what draws people from out of town. Okay, what strategies work best to engage Gen Z? That's a good question. So we're actually working with one of our local high schools. They have a marketing career pathway program, and we've charged that program with developing social media content. Each month they have a bunch of groups and they're all doing different things, and then we select a couple to actually post. But they're going to the trail spots, talking about the trail spot, and then encouraging people to download the app and participate. So we just had our first post from one of those students go live, or it's going live this week. And so we're hoping that that's going to be a good way for like Gen Z to talk to Gen Z and grow some engagement there. And especially if we can keep getting the schools to stay on board, the more they share it, the more people we reach as well. And the content's been funny. It's really neat to see what these high schoolers are coming up with and what we've put in front of them.
I'm glad you have a good strategy for the Gen Zs. Kate, that's wonderful.
We'll see how it works. That's the goal.
Yeah. So we only have a couple of minutes left, and I wanted to again thank you so much, Kate.
Mike,
yes, ma'am.
I see Julie Prettyman is typing a question.
Oh, we have one more question?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so the question is, has there been something that has surprised you about the app engagement?
Oh, great.
I think it's been interesting to see. So like our average time that a user is spending on the app at a time is like 5.5 minutes or something like that. And so that's been really interesting and encouraging to see that, folks are going to the app and then they're spending a little bit of time learning more about the other trail stops, or, learning a little bit more about our America 250 initiative in Marion. So I think that's been surprising a little bit, just to see how much time folks are spending when they go to the app.
That's great. That's great. I know we only have a minute left, and I wanted to thank our wonderful team, Anurag and Anthony, for all the wonderful work they did putting this together, and BJ for hosting it. And I was going to ask BJ if she would give her closing thoughts.
Sure, Mike. Thank you. Kate, thank you so much for providing your valuable time today. And everybody who is on the webinar, I know time is so precious, and we appreciate from our bottom of our hearts to spend your valuable time, especially your lunch hour, with the Pigeon-Tech team. I hope you got some good nuggets which you can take back. And if you have any questions or anything, even just to bounce off your ideas, feel free to reach out to us and we can help you out. Once again, thank you, everyone, and you all have a blessed day.
Thank you.
Bye all. Bye-bye.
Bye.